This is the seated danyu with the figure 8 pattern. So what this means is I'm going to take the idea of the danyu, which was explained before, and I'm going to add a bigger movement with my arms. It's always there subtly in the background, but I'm going to bring more awareness to it, and I'm going to expand it so you can actually see where it's going. And then what I'm going to do is apply that to the danyu from seated up to standing, so you can see how it's incorporated into the movement in an exaggerated way. And you can leave it in the exaggerated form, or you can go back to our other video, which was seated to standing danyu, where it was just embedded in very subtly through the way the arms move. So a figure 8 pattern is how energy flows through the body, and we have many different ways that it flows. But what's beautiful about Tai Chi is as we move in and out of different movement patterns, we are actually making that flow of the figure 8 happen. So what I'm going to do with my arms is show you what the pattern does in the hands. So in the danyu before, we demonstrated how you would come forward, push into the feet, and come back. Okay, so this is your basic danyu pattern. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust it a little bit. One, I'm going to take my feet just slightly wider. So this allows me to come more through the center of my legs. And so my belly will be able to come straight down through the middle. I'm going to keep my knees and my ankles still over each other, but I'm going to pull my ankle back just a little bit so I'll be able to get out of the chair okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hands on the first round, which is the seated part. I'm going to take the hands forward and up, and then I'm going to turn them over and bring them in towards the middle, down and back. So this is going to go forward and up, in and back. I'm falling into my feet, and then I'm pushing to come back. So I've got out and in. Okay. So now, if I'm going to stay seated in the chair, that figure 8 goes that way, but my hands are turning over. That turning over part is a figure 8 pattern that runs this way. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to bring my hands out and up, but I'm going to let them go a little bit wider, and then I'm going to bring them in and back. So you make the 8 out wide, in narrow, and then out wide again. Out and in. Again, and I'm just pushing through my feet, fall into the floor, push into the feet to come back. Okay? Now I can put the two together, so then it goes out, in. Out, in. And I can focus it just a little bit different. And again, the power of that is it was already there. I'm just exaggerating a little bit so you can see a little bit more what's happening. This gives you a chance to just see some length and expansion that happens through. So now I want to bring it to standing. So I'm going to change my hands slightly for this one. So the first one you already saw, which is going to go out, in and down. The second one that I do is going to glide straight out. And what I'm going to do is lift my tailbone off the chair, but I'm also going to lift my sit bones off the chair. So when I go out, I'm actually balancing on my feet and then coming back. And the key part about this is you don't stop your hands at the end. You go out and you come straight back. It's just like an elastic if you stretched it and came back in. So you have out and in. That would be the second one. So out and in. The third one, I want to go up. So what I'm going to do is instead of taking my hands straight across, I'm going to start lifting up as I go through. And I'm going to keep my hands moving all the way to the top, and then I'm going to bring the figure 8 in and down, and it's going to finish this way. Okay, so the example of that then with the hands, it goes up, comes in, down, turns over, and out. So you can see the figure 8 in there. Okay, so I'll do that one. So it goes up, comes in, and down. So we have up, in, down. So it's a little bit different than how we demonstrated before, But when you're expanding that figure eight concept, it gives you a chance to play a little bit. So here we go, putting the three together. So the first one is out and back. The second one glides straight across and balance. And the third one, up, sink, sit. So let's do that one more time. And then balance, and up. If you notice, when I came back to sit down, I knew the chair was going to still be there. I didn't look behind to see if it was still there. I knew that I had left my feet and my body in exactly the same place, and I sat straight back into the chair, so I wasn't going to miss the chair. If you try to turn to check and see, then you lose your balance, and you get everything out of balance as far as how the structure is holding. So you want to make sure, leave it straight, trust the chair, it's still going to be there when you go back. And that is seated to standing and donyus with figure eight hands.